Hey you guys, Cindy here, Create Your Own Luck and Love. I hope you are having a beautiful Monday. It's gorgeous here today, and I don't know if you guys saw my email around what drives men crazy for you. So this is going to surprise you. I know a lot of people are thinking, is it sexy lingerie? Sure. You know, I will give you a hint. Sex does not connect men with a woman. There's one thing in particular that does, and that will set you apart from being the type of woman that he cherishes and just freaking adores and wants to keep for his own. Now, I'm going to preface this too with the right man, okay? So men adore this about women, and it could even be with the wrong man too, but just giving you some insight and depth around this, I believe it's really going to help. Hey, Sarah, how are you? I see a few of you guys popping on here. Okay, so you may or may not believe this, but it's true. So take a minute and write this down. The number one, so let me tell you what does not connect a man. Like I mentioned, sex does not make a man feel more connected to you. They do not. And it doesn't make him, it doesn't inspire him to commit. So remember that if you're leading with your sexuality, it will not lead you down a pathway that is what you desire, actually. Hey, Kathy. Oh, it's good to see you. I'm glad you got to hop on. Okay, so I'm going to get to the point. The number one thing that women think they do, and they don't, and a lot of women don't because of fear, is vulnerability. Yes, vulnerability. You guys are probably going, well, I think I'm vulnerable. Well, there's ways to be vulnerable. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples of that. Would that help you guys? Give me a thumbs up. Give me some hearts. My hearts aren't working. At any rate, so vulnerability is, it's amazing, and it scares a lot of people because a lot of times we have these looking good conversations. I need to be the perfect me. And in fact, men love women when they share about things that they feel a little bit scared to share. Here's why. Because they see you as human, because they're human too, and they see you as brave. So when it comes to dating, relationships, partnerships, I encourage you to be vulnerable. And vulnerability is asking for help. If you're a client of mine, I have you do that. Kathy knows. And so this is a very powerful piece. If you ask men for help, any man, you get in the energy of it. You get in the energy of being open to receive. Okay? And it creates, men see that they have a space, you have a space in your life for them. Hear that. Any man that you meet, that you go out on a date with, if you ask him simply for help with something and you enthusiastically thank him or tell him he's your hero, because men want to be your superhero, he will be very receptive, and usually they ask, is there anything else I can do to help you? So part of the reason why people find it hard to be vulnerable, if you know, a really good book on vulnerability, I love this woman, her name's Brené Brown, and it's called Daring Greatly. And this book is amazing. So a lot of times as women, we think we need to be this perfect version of what we think that he wants in order to be liked. The right man is going to like you anyway. He's going to love you if you share things that you're a little bit scared about. Even if you said something like, you know, I don't know what it is, but I must really like you because I gotta tell you, I feel a little bit jealous when I saw you speaking with that other woman the other day. So what does that show? It shows vulnerability in that you care. And that you're not saying that you're not acting crazy. You're just telling him, you're giving him a sneak peek into your mind. And he's probably going, oh, really? She got a little bit jealous, huh? Because men want to feel needed. And so if you expose some parts of you that you're a little bit scared to share, that is vulnerability. And you can practice that in dating. I gotta tell you, I was a little bit nervous to meet you today. And I'm really happy I did. So some of the common, I'm going to share just a couple things here. Some commonalities and limiting thoughts and beliefs are we're afraid to share parts of our personality that we feel like our partner or someone may find unacceptable, right? So a lot of times, and I hear this from a lot of women, they'll share a bunch of things about themselves, but they're not really being vulnerable. So if you probe deeper, like, I was really nervous about this, and I felt like, maybe you would judge me if I shared it, right? So I've just got to be really open. And the more that you start to do that authentically, who are you authentically, right? And not worry about it. What it inspires a man to do is to meet you on that level. As you're going deeper, he starts to go deeper because he automatically feels safe. Okay? And so I'm not the kind of coach that's going to tell you, how do I snag a man, or what's going to drive him wild and give you, this crazy thing to do. It's as simple and as complicated around vulnerability. And a couple questions to ask yourself. Does keeping a distance make you feel safe and in control of your emotions? Are you afraid? Are you afraid to cry? Are you afraid to show a sign of weakness? Weakness is not bad. It's, showing things that you're a little bit scared about, that's vulnerable, right? Do you feel shame, or do you feel like something stops you from talking about a difficult topic, right? Do you feel like that men aren't going to like you, or he's not going to like you because you share something that may have been in the past, but it's a part of what made you who you are today. Does defensiveness come into play? And this is something that I see a lot, is women getting defensive with men, or when they don't like the way a man is approaching them, they become defensive or competitive with them, which creates a disconnection. If you lean into it with compassion or trust and understanding and curiosity, what happens is you bridge that gap and it brings him closer to you. Remember, people want to feel understood, you guys. Men want to feel understood and safe just like you do. So share a little something that you're scared about. Aw, thanks. Kathy, that's so cute. Yes, I make you guys stretch. And, tell me what your thoughts are around this. Do you have questions? Do you need another example? And is this resonating with you? Because believe me, I get it. I mean, I grew up in a home where I was to be seen and not heard. And frankly, my parents were great, and that's just the way that, that was what was passed down to them, which, became passed down to me. And I knew that I didn't feel safe a lot at home. And I felt like, are you getting how this is in conjunction with each other? I didn't feel safe. I felt like I needed to be perfect. I felt like everything I had to do, everything I did was for approval, but my opinions weren't important. So you want to talk about someone who's had to stretch, about becoming vulnerable? You guys, I get it. And I even get triggers. I was just remembering a time, and this was years and years ago, where I was dating a guy, and we had gone to an event, and a friend of mine was with us, and my girlfriend and him were chatting a lot because they were both from the same area on the East Coast, and I wasn't from the East Coast, so I didn't have that connection point. And you guys want to talk about mindset creating reality? Well, I was scared that he wasn't going to like me, because and this, I'm telling you guys, this year, I think I was in my 20s. It was a while ago, just last week. No, I'm kidding. But I was scared because I thought, oh, he's not going to like me, or he's going to like her more, or somebody else, because I was really concerned about the fact that I wasn't going to be chosen. So regardless, you guys, this love thing, it's vulnerable. And if you want to play full out, it's becoming vulnerable, right? So I think I turned into a little bit of a hot mess with him that night. But what ended up happening is that he asked another woman out at that event that night. I found out later. So my thoughts, my fears became real. And I remember thinking, there's something to this. And that's why I work around a lot of mindset. So Hope this helps. Post below, or if you have anything deeper that you want to discuss for me, set up a time to talk. I do have limited space, but I happen to know I still have a couple slots open on Friday. So I would love to talk to you. I hope this is helpful today on our Love Talk Live, and feel free to propose any questions, anything. I'm here to support, and sending you all lots of love and a really amazing rest of your Monday. All right? Mwah. Bye, everyone.